So I decided to make a cover of Moondust by Jaymes Young. Now in previous videos I would show you how I would make it in the whole hour, but the problem is I already made the track. So yeah. I got kind of carried away just kind of messing around with the chord progression, and one thing led to another, and yeah, the whole thing is done. So I'm just going to break down all the elements in the song, and I'll make the music video at the end like usual. But before this video begins, I want to ask you guys to go ahead and make sure that you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. It really helps the channel and helps me grow. And as always, if there's a specific song you want me to cover, go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know what song you want me to cover next. So without further ado, let's just get into the breakdown. So I'm going to show you guys the drum pattern that I used because it's really only used in the chorus, so it's very simple. So the main drums start off at the pre-chorus of the song, and it's like this little build section, and this is how that sounds like. As you can tell, it's very basic, you know, 4 on the floor as I've been doing lately. However, I added some variation at the third chorus and made the drum pattern a bit more groovier, and this is how that sounds like. As you can tell, it's a bit more offbeat than the first pattern, and I think it was a nice contrast from the 4 on the floor pattern that's heard in the first choruses. So the song itself starts off with a pad that's very spacey, which I felt was very fitting considering the theme of the song, and it starts off with this drone as well, and this is how they sound like together. Once the first verse of the song hits, we're introduced to the acoustic guitar, a Juno pad, a respace, and a snap, just to start filling out the song, and this is how they sound like. And as you can tell, it's very spacey, very dreamy, and like I said, I think it's very fitting considering the name of the song and the theme that it has. So from there, the song starts building up on itself, leading us to that pre-chorus section that I talked about earlier. When we get to the pre-chorus, we're introduced to a couple of new elements such as the effects and stuff. And along with all the stuff that's going to be used in the drop section of the song, I wanted to continue that same energy of building up to the chorus. So what I did is I filtered all of them with a low pass filter and slowly opened up the filter to start filling out the song. So now when we get to the chorus, it's all the same elements that were present during the pre-chorus, but now all of them are out and about to fill out the whole song, and this is how they sound like. Something that I really liked doing in the chorus was the way I layered these 3 sounds. And what I did is I panned one to the left, kept one in the middle, and panned one to the right. So that way there was a nice stereo image and helped widen out the song. Which by themselves, these 3 sounds sound like this. Then what I did is I layered in the acoustic guitar under the rest of all of this and basically pushed it back in the mix, so that way it would just be like a supportive layer, and this is the rhythm that the guitar is playing throughout the chorus. Now from there, I basically copy pasted everything to the second verse and the second chorus. However, I added some variation to the second half of the second verse, just to keep that interest of the listener by not having everything just sound as still as the first part, as the first verse. And it was very simple. I just added a piano and a kick pattern, and this is how they sound like with the rest of the stuff. And again, here the piano is kind of like a supportive layer, just like the acoustic guitar was. It doesn't sound like it's doing a lot, but if I take it off, it does make a huge difference. Now for the third verse, I added a bit more variation, like I said, with the drums, but I also took off the first bar of the chorus. And what I mean by that is that I basically took the instruments and I filtered it back in, which adds like a nice little ramp thing and helps the vocal stand out for a little second before going back into the full section of the chorus. And I'm gonna play for you guys so you guys can hear what I mean. So that's about it for this instrument section of the song. So now I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the vocal processing and whatnot. So the main vocal itself is nothing special. I just added some compression, some tuning, some EQ. As you can see, I automated the delay so that it's not always on, because then it gets a bit messy. And this is how that sounds like.
I'm building this house on the moon like a lost astronaut.
Now at the chorus, I did a couple things. Now one of the things that's happening with the vocals is that it's being vocoded. And if you don't know what vocoding is, it's basically taking the signal of the vocals and combining it with the synth, and it makes a nice little layer to the vocals. Now after I added this vocoder, I added in these high harmonies, which, full disclosure, they sound kind of bad by themselves, which is why I'm not going to play them by themselves, okay? And regardless, this is how those vocals sound like with the main vocal and the vocoder vocal.
The brightness of the sun will give me just enough to burn my love in the moondust.
Now what I did here is that I recorded it twice, and I panned one to the left and one to the right, which adds a nice little stereo image to the whole song. Then what I did is I recorded a bottom layer to the main vocal.
The brightness of the sun will give me just enough to burn my love in the moondust.
To finish off the harmonies, I added another harmony, and I did the same as I did with the first set of harmonies, and I panned one to the left and panned one to the right, and this is how they sound like.
The brightness of the sun will give me just enough to burn my love in the moondust.
So that's all that I really did for this cover. So without further ado, here's my cover of Moondust by Jaymes Young.
I'm building this house on the moon like a lost astronaut, looking at you like a star from a place the world forgot. And there's nothing that I can except bury my love for you. The brightness of the sun will give me just enough to burn my love in the moondust. I long to hear your voice, but still I make the choice to bury my love in the moondust. Nothing can breathe in the space colder than the darkest sea. I have dreams about the days driving through the sunset breeze. But the first thing that I will do is bury my love for you. The brightness of the sun will give me just enough to burn my love in the moondust. I long to hear your voice, but still I make the choice to burn my love in the moondust. reap what they sow, and I say what I know to be true. I'm living far away on the face of the moon. I burned my love to give the world to you. The brightness of the sun will give me just enough to burn my love in the moondust. I long to hear your voice, but still I make the choice to burn my love in the moondust.
So I hope that you enjoyed my cover of Moondust by Jaymes Young. Now as always, I'd like to invite you guys to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. It really helps me out and it helps show your support for this channel. And as always, if you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button. It really supports me and it lets me know if you guys are actually enjoying the content that I'm making. Leave a comment down below with what song you think I should cover next. So that's gonna be it for me this week. I hope that you guys have a good day and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!